What's up, guys? Happy New Year to each and every one of you, and welcome to today's video. I'm going to teach you step by step how to apply resin to your painting. This is going to be the first video of the new year, you guys, so let's get it. Okay, so here's what you're going to need. Hardener and the actual resin. Any sort of add-ons, which are optional. In this case, I'm using glitter. You're gonna need Blowtorch, cups. I have the ones that have the measurements on it. Gloves. Any sort of medical grade glove is good. And last but not least, something to start with. All right, you guys, so we're pretty much at the resin station, which I call my resin station. And you can see it's pretty messy, but you want to have your painting situated in an area that can actually get dirty. You want to have it flat on the table, because once you start to pour your resin, you want to make sure that the surface is flat so you don't have any bubbles or any of that other jazz that may occur if you do not have a level surface. So even if you don't have a tabletop, put it somewhere, whether on the floor, on top of boxes, especially somewhere that you can actually get dirty, you guys. You can see I have my resin, everything set up. And you want to have everything set up ahead of time in your area so that you don't be fiddling around when it's actually time to apply the resin, you guys, because that's going to be an issue. You have probably a 30 to 40 minute setup time prior to everything before your resin actually starts to cure. So you definitely want to get on it ASAP. Okay, you guys? So let's get into the process and I'll talk to you as I go. All right, you guys, since resin is a chemical, you want to make sure that you do safety first. So I'm going to apply my gloves. All right, so resin is a two-part epoxy, you guys. So you want to have two different cups so that you can measure out your hardener and your resin in two different parts. Okay, so I have measurements on my cups, and for a 16 by 20 painting, which that's what this is, I'm gonna measure out about maybe 3 ounces. So I'm gonna do about 1.5 ounces of hardener and 1.5 ounces of actual resin. And you want to make sure these measuring cups are good for that, because you can get the exact measurements. Or you could just use regular plastic cups if you don't have that. And make sure you have the same amount in each cup. But you want to make sure you keep track of this. Keep track of what it is that you're pouring. Okay? One is red. Well, in this case, one is red. And let's go ahead and pour, you guys. So this is my resin. You want to make sure your cup is kind of level. And let's go ahead and pour. And you don't want to waste any of this stuff at all, you guys, okay? Put this off to the side. Now I'm going to pour my hardener. The same amount. And I want to make sure and I can actually see it. You definitely want to make sure that you're measuring these things out, because you don't want to waste this stuff. It could be quite pricey. Okay, And then we're gonna eyeball it. That's almost 2 ounces. Huh. Okay, so I eyeballed it and I got about 2 ounces per cup, which will come to be about, end up actually being about 4 ounces. And it's going to be a little bit over, which is okay. I mean, I guess you can't really use this stuff. So if you have another painting and you want to use the leftovers on that, that's cool too. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour, I got my stirrer ready. The timer is actually started on this. Once you get this stuff out of the bottle, so I'm actually going to pour and mix them both together in one thing, you guys. See, now we're all in one thing. So that comes out to be about 4 ounces. Well, really, it's about 3 ounces. You can see that, right? Okay, so, and I like to have a little bit of glitter. So I'm going to add a little bit of glitter at this time. This is when you want to do all of your add-ons, right? Because once you lay this stuff down, you can't really do much else. I'm using an extra fine, super thin kind of glitter, right? You can pick this up. See how much I put in there? And you can kind of pick this stuff up anywhere, you guys. I don't think you really need a lot. This is like a rainbow glitter. Again, I'm going to link everything below. Now, what you want to do is you want to stir this for about 5 minutes. Okay? So let's do that and we'll be back. You can see it's like a good mixture at this point. It's been about 5 minutes. You can see it's kind of glittering and glistening. It's going to gain a lot of bubbles, so this is where the blowtorch comes in, because you don't want those bubbles in your resin. You put those bubbles in your resin, and it's actually some bubbles kind of bubbling up. I can see it. So in this case, if you're really sensitive to smells, and in some cases certain resins, you should be using some sort of mask to prevent yourself from getting any sort of weird whatever, right? You can kind of see the glitter in there, right, you guys? It's going to look white and bubbly, but once you lay it down, it's going to look good. Alright, so let's start. Okay, so I'm going to pour it on the middle. I think I put a little bit too much glitter on here. You can see it looks cloudy right now. You can always add more if you feel like you don't have enough. So never be afraid to add more. And I'm just going to take my hand, but you can actually take something else and do that if you want. And I'm just going to like, and I can tell this is not going to be enough. So I probably needed like 6 Believe me, it'll go away. All this fingerprints and you want to get it like to the ends. So all these fingerprints and stuff like that will go away. I'm going to actually mix up a quick batch of another thing of resin. Okay, so finally, it's crazy. Like, I miscalculated. I needed about 6 or 7 ounces of resin, hardener and resin, all together, 6 and 7 ounces to actually cover a 16 by 20 painting. So I'm just taking my hand and kind of smoothing this out. Again, this stuff will level out because the good thing about art resin is it is food safe, so you can put it on coasters and stuff like that. And it's self-leveling. But I'm actually gonna, after I finish smoothing this out, I'm actually gonna take my blowtorch and get any bubbles out that I see. And you want to get eye level for this. So I'm actually just smoothing the resin out into the ends of the painting. I was panicking for a minute, you guys, because I was like, oh, snap. I don't have enough resin for this whole painting, but I do. And it has a lot of sparkles in it, too. So I kind of OD'd and went insane with the sparkles, but I mean, you can never have too much glitter as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, let's get to blowtorching. Alright, so I got my blowtorch. I'm going to put it on, this is a big blowtorch. You can hear it. I'm going to kind of put it on my lowest setting. And we're ready. Try to turn it as low as possible. And I'm going to go in a circular motion. I'm going to talk a little louder because of this. I'm going to go in a circular motion, you guys. And try not to burn the painting, okay? You want to move quickly in a circular motion. Just to pop the bubbles. And we're done, you guys. So you can pretty much see it's really glossy. Like, it looks like a mirror finish. And you can see even the reflection on the ceiling. You see that? It's smooth, nice, beautiful, gleaming, glossing. It's going to look like a mirror. I think I kind of added too much glitter, but, you know, I feel like you can never have too much glitter. And you don't necessarily have to add glitter to yours. Like, you can see it. You see it? See how she's gleaming? It just brings out the richness in the painting. Like, look. You see it? The mirror. See that gloss? Looks like a mirror. It's still wet, you guys. So, pretty much you want to let this dry, well, cure for about 48 to 72 hours. And within 24 to 48 hours, it should be kind of dry to the touch. But it's not something you want to be, like, really handling. You want to give it some time to really cure. So, yeah. That's the end result. I did a lot of trial and error. I was, like, a little rusty, you guys. Like, I had to really do a lot of remeasuring for this crap. But I think it turned out dope. Even though I did all that remeasuring, I ended up using probably about 8 ounces, okay, altogether on this bad boy. 16 by 20 painting, you see? And I actually elevated it off of the table because once it starts to dry, it starts to cure, you really do not want this to dry on the table. It'll end up being stuck to the table or stuck to whatever surface you're doing. And you'll have hell getting it up, you guys. So, yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, you can put it down below in the comments. Don't forget to share, like, and love it. Give a girl a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.